Hello, everyone. Check Dumb Gene YouTube channel. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. You like my coat? You like my coat? You like my coat? You like my coat? You like my coat I got? Coat. It's Versace. Versace. Thank you for joining another session of Jack Dumb Gene YouTube channel. I have discarded my wig hair that's mine. It's gone. I tied up this because it won't stay. Um, Listen. Uh, why is it that we go out from in our community and basically again have targets on our backs as obsidian people? We have bosses that are enemies to us. We're constantly at war in the world. In America's been very fair to us obsidian men, but these obsidian women that we've been involved with in the past, the future, the present, have been brainwashed by mass narrative in Hollywood to think that they deserve a certain way of living. They deserve to take peace away from the men and get resources. This is the big part keeps sticking out. They think they deserve a certain way of living. This will go to the ether and give me all the reception I need. The Hollywood way is dead. That way of living, where you have the best of everything, the most expensive of everything. It all works out because the money is going towards you doing the most, doing the best, to spend the most money to get the most expensive things. But there's a war against the obsidian man. In the community, we're always dealing with wars outside, and then we come home, we have to fight our women. This is a struggle love. What happens with these obsidian women, instead of having them look to us to provide for them, they want to show us disdain. They want us to be taken out in an ignominious manner. They want us to be disrespected. They want us to provide while we're being disrespected. They want to create disrespect out of no disrespect. They want to create arguments out of no arguments. If we have a job or several jobs, what provide is not enough. They want more. It's okay to want more. When I eat on Tuesday, I also want to eat on Wednesday. When I eat breakfast on Tuesday or one meal on Tuesday, I also want a second meal on Tuesday, sometimes a third. However, the privileges that society provides us and that we provide them is not always basically what they need or want. And sometimes it's not what we want. Sometimes what we want is peace. That is an intangible in our own right in our lives. When it comes to some obsidian women, you have to deal with the issues, having more issues in Sports Illustrated. Basically, being brought up in a support system with mostly women, grandmother, mom, a surrogate grandmother, a surrogate aunt, aunts, multiple sisters, little girls, substitute teachers, female bus drivers, whatever be the case, and they learn to demonize the obsidian man. They learn to demonize the obsidian man. There's no obsidian men that are good out here. There's no obsidian men that are good in here. There's no obsidian men that are good inside of me. There's no good experience I had with obsidian men. There's a lot of unexpected, unrealistic, remarkable, spastically thought of men inside the interiors of these obsidian women, these black women, these black men, these obsidian women, these obsidian men. Don't interact too well together. They live in different worlds, even shopping in a supermarket, even going to church, even going to college, even going to a car dealership, even paying your utility bills. When an obsidian man and an obsidian woman have no relation to each other, there seems to be a clash. There seems to be a physical standoff. There seems to be a staring game, a resentment for their existence. One resents the other for existing. This little thing, spaghetti string in my hair, is resentful of my hair. It's not my hair. Resentful of my wig. My hair, my wig. These obsidian women have these unexpectations. Everyone has a right to be happy, even prisoners. The whole idea created by media, by Hollywood, keeps these ideas strong. These ideas of the old order. These ideas from Jim Crow. These ideas from the antebellum period. These ideas from Step and Fetch. These ideas from the Black Codes. These ideas from the overseer mentality. These are the ideas of our forefathers. These are the ideas of the civil rights leaders. These are ideas of 2 generations ago. These are the ideas of the black body politic. Old guard. We don't want this anymore. We don't want this anymore. We don't want this anymore. These obsidian women, since the late 50s, have pushed us in and out of homes. They have made inconvenient, they have made uncomfortable, they have kept children apart, they have pushed family members away, they have caused men to be killed prematurely, they have caused men to be aborted before they're born, they have caused obsidian men to have no place to go, they have caused obsidian men with large houses to have nowhere to go. They have caused obsidian men to have nowhere to go, to have nowhere to vent, nowhere to speak, nowhere to be, nowhere to exist, nowhere to go, no urgency to exist. They have created a lifestyle in America to where happiness and the pursuit of one's vocation with useful utility of themselves for self-utility has been replenished, diminished, and stepped upon underfoot. It has been an identity of failure, and the obsidian man and the obsidian woman to not get about and get along. Some have sought other options abroad. Some have sought broads abroad. Some have been very broad in their opinions. Some have broadened their horizons. Some have made their horizons, breast, dimensions of hips, dimensions of shoulders, made 6-foot men reject the place, the special place, the special space they have not been allowed into. There are guys standing on sidelines waiting for a chance to be with an obsidian woman, to have the respect, time, and attention of an obsidian woman, to have the respect, time, and attention of a black woman, and have not gone. Despite the station that one may be, a black man would not get that attention, would not get that validation from an obsidian woman. That nurturing spirit, that warm embrace from the black mother, that the black man, that the obsidian man who is black cannot seem to have quenched. That thirst for a motherly love and a fatherly love that was lost in the antebellum period, that was lost in the civil rights movement, that was lost in the late 50s, that was lost before that, well before Loving in Virginia, that was lost before Black History Month. We don't have to wait till February to be disrespected. The projection of the imbrued soul of the obsidian man has made him a child. He has been a slave to brands. He has been a slave to seeking employment. He has sought the European exemplary standard of what a man should be, that of the Oblanco man, that is white, that happens to not be obsidian or black, the white man that is not sable. This black man must follow an example, or not even be measured with a teaspoon for his worth. His labor has little value. His value of himself and self assessment is not at a good level for himself. The obsidian man is not a man. The black man in his character is not well respected. He is divided. He has conquered nothing. The obsidian black man in himself would like to reach his sister, his black sable sister. That sister without real hair, that black sister without real hair, that obsidian girl that rejects her own skin color, that looks to imbue the soul of the black man, that looks to evoke the great black men in the world as a measuring stick of the black man that is not one of the greatest men on the world, whose name is not known by more than a few, who has not had enough Oscars as Denzel Washington, who is not Sidney Poitier or Patrick Mahomes or even Deshaun Watson, best quarterback of all time. How many roads must he march before he is known as the man to be, the man, the woman, black woman, the obsidian woman? How far must I trudge these horrible poems? And but soft these words read, damaged dynamic of the black family, body politic. How many roads must we walk? How many times must we stretch the black family as a piece of gum that hasn't been stuck in the subway for 2 years, but in 2 microseconds has the elasticity of a rock that is broken so fast that can't be calculated, the bits and pieces of the black family that no longer is a foundation. There's a lack of black patriarchy. There's a lack of obsidian race to solve problems. There's a lack of leadership. There's a lack of depth. There's no depth. There's a lot of density and thickness in the obsidian race. And myself as a vapor, how can I speak for the black race? I cannot. I can only stare at you from this toilet and utter semantics and words that do not float a jargon, that sink a boat. They cannot float above our own, the harbor. And mathematically about a point is dead reckoning to find out the current crisis, status, and position of the black family in the current state in 2025 in the black community. Is there motivation for us to build homes? Who is us? Us is better than we. We're not in France. Farrell said that wants to work for a better community. However, he talks about how the Obsidian man won't do anything for his family, how he's a sellout. how he won't work hard in his community, how he won't join the police department. Many times on YouTube, on social media, many of these content creators are speaking of themselves on subjects about themselves, for themselves, or abounding in stress, or lifting themselves up by shoulder straps with boots unlaced. I will not dig in their pockets for what I would find. The tattoo remains on their fathers that they did not hold in high regards. And they're wearing panties, trying to be like their mothers. And like their mothers, naturally, they will be. And this self abnegation that they will feel, they know that they are women deep down inside. But we cannot blame them. However, we cannot blame them. They did not make their fathers leave. They did not run all the men off in the community. They did not ask an Obsidian woman what time it is. And an Obsidian woman clutches her purse as if she was about to be robbed. Sometimes she is robbed. Most of the time, not most of the time, sometimes, most of the time. Does it matter that all of us are not criminals and all of us are not deadbeat baby daddies and stepfathers and bullet bags? Does that matter? The individual image is not that of what a soundbite the media can, something one on a social media platform can purport. I would only propose some of us to not put pressure on the women. You know, Jude Law once said, men are no more in crisis than women. Jude Law once said, men are no more in crisis than women. What will we gain by rising above the woman? The obsidian woman, the obsidian man. Rising together will take one down to raise the other. You know, in the 90s, there was a movement to uplift the Black woman. In the 90s, there was a movement to uplift the obsidian woman. In the 90s, there was a movement to downplay the Black man. In the 90s, there was a movement to label the Black man as a super predator. In the 90s, there was a movement to put the Black man in prison for small amounts of drugs. In the 90s, there was a movement to disenfranchise the Black family by disenfranchising the man and holding the children and women as heroes. In the 90s, there was a movement to incentivize the Black woman to distance herself from the obsidian man. A generation is not 25 years. It's probably about 7. There's been many days and there's been many failures in these family units. In the American Obsidian family, dark-hued and brute spirits. Black families, asunder tossed asunder. Well, let's toss our hearts into the rings. Let's reinvigorate the Black family by creating our own families, handling our own business. Let's not blame white supremacy. Let's not blame the status quo. Let's not blame the white supremacy. Let's bring the Obsidian family to the forefront and let's uplift the Obsidian family above the black man or woman. Jack Dodging YouTube channel. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And goodbye, 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 goodbye.